Adding new seasonal flights with the return of fall, where you can travel to at your convenience. That's ahead. NBC Palm Springs at 6 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. Are you in the market for a new home? Home prices are dropping in Riverside County. That's tonight's top story. And the California Association of Realtors says with the decrease in home sales and prices in Riverside County, now might be the time to buy. Our Brett Rosen has the story.
Now, it wasn't just the California Association of Realtors that talked about why now is the time to buy. It was the buyers themselves.
Early on, we're like, okay, at some point in time, we're going to want to move. This just sort of happened to us.
This is Bill Bertrand, Wisconsin native, who just 2 years ago bought a second home in Palm Springs with his partner. He says he has been lightly window shopping for a new home for some time, but it's the dip in the housing market that has pushed him into going forward with a realtor.
It seems like the market here, even with our house, right, has stabilized over the past few years, and you're seeing opportunities out there, which is sort of what drove us to get back into the market. We know that we wanted to be in maybe a little bit different area after living here for a while. Maybe want some different scenery, want to be closer to downtown. There were just lots of decisions that went into thinking about it. The market right now just seems like an opportune time to, kind of get back out there and see what's available.
According to the California Association of Realtors, home prices and sales have declined in Riverside County over the past month, with the median sold price of existing single-family homes dropping from $630,000 to $625,000. And local realtor Craig Michaels says right now it's a buyer's market.
We saw the buyer pool shrink, and as a result, a lot of the homes have been staying on market much longer. This is forcing sellers to be flexible with their price and terms. Interest rates just came down, so we saw them at 6 1/4 last week, and we're anticipating one more rate drop before the end of the year, and that'll bring some more buyers back into the market and could possibly swing that pendulum back towards it being more of a seller's market. But right now, buyers have the upper hand due to the amount of inventory that's been staying on market.
Bertrand says when he and his partner bought their first home in Palm Springs, the hope was that the home would gain appreciation over time. Now that they are looking for a new home, Bertrand says he knows they won't get the same value out of their old house. However, he says the dip in home costs makes it worth it.
And I think what we're going to see is probably not the appreciation that we would have expected, but all in the same. I think as that market has corrected itself or the market has came back to more of a normalization, we're probably going to be able to buy a place more equitable. So it's really just a trade-off.
Now, it wasn't just the prices of homes that were declining here in Riverside County, it was sales as well. So we're going to have to see in these next few months whether or not the continued dip in prices of these homes will affect the numbers on how many people are going to be in that buyer's market. Here in Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
Our thanks to Brett for that report. As we head around the region, some drone footage from a massive mudslide in San Bernardino County has officially been released. We've got the video for you here of that mudslide, which was created from the combination of Tropical Storm Mario, heavy rainfall, and the El Dorado burn scar. This took out large portions of State Route 38 in San Bernardino. You can see from the chunks of the road there completely wiped away. Parts of the surrounding area also just don't exist anymore. Dozens of cars left stranded for hours from the mudslide, but thankfully no injuries reported.
Let's get a check on the forecast. Live pictures right here from our Agua Caliente Casino camera high above there from downtown Palm Springs. For the latest on the forecast, we're going to send things over to meteorologist Jerry Steffen.
Checking the calendar for September, most of the days have been below normal, and we'll see more below normal numbers later this week. Well, it was a little bit of humidity out there with a mix of sun and clouds earlier today with temps above 100 degrees. 80 degrees tonight under mostly clear skies for Palm Springs, Palm Desert, 79 at Indio, low to middle 70s in the high desert, even some 60s around the San Gorgonio Pass tonight. Dew points come up a little bit tomorrow, so a touch of humidity for your Wednesday, upper 50s, lower 60s with those dew points, and peak temps at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll hit 103 in Palm Springs. That's about 4 degrees above normal for this time of year. 105 at Indio, Indian Wells, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, and La Quinta will peak at 106. Thursday, the numbers come down. So does the humidity a little bit. 100 degrees for Palm Springs on our Comfort Air 3-day forecast for Thursday. Friday, below 100 degrees. 96 for Palm Springs under partly cloudy skies. Full forecast and 7-day this half hour.
Our thanks to Jerry for that. In more local news this evening, Palm Springs International Airport is flying in some new routes for travelers this fall. So whether you're heading north to Canada, east to Chicago and New York, or to the Bay Area, PSP has you covered. Starting this October, some favorite seasonal connections are back, including Air Canada flying to Toronto and Vancouver, Alaska Airlines to New York JFK, Washington and Santa Rosa, and Southwest flying to San Jose.
Stuffed Pizza presented a check today to the Animal Rescue Center of California, currently located in Coachella. The owners of Stuffed Pizza recently held a Dog Days of Summer fundraiser for the organization, raising just over $2,000. The rescue will be using these funds to expand facilities to a larger location in Thermal. If you're interested in donating, you can visit our newsroom tab on our website.
The Palm Springs Animal Shelter is looking for the community's help to provide families in need with pet food for their furry family members. This Friday, the shelter is hosting their Cans and Kibble Pet Food Drive. It benefits their Rick Irwin Pet Food Bank. Starting at 10 in the morning and running for the majority of the day, they'll be at 4 locations across the valley collecting pet food. Those locations include the Animal Shelter in Palm Springs, the Desert Community Animal Center in Desert Hot Springs, the Sun Community Federal Credit Union in Indio, and the Rancho Mirage Library if you'd like to help out.
A former Riverside County Sheriff's deputy who killed a man has been sentenced today to a year in jail and 10 years of felony probation. Officials say 44-year-old Oscar Rodriguez shot and killed Luis Carlos Morin of Coachella back in 2014. Morin had previously been in a relationship with Rodriguez's then-girlfriend. Rodriguez was acquitted of first-degree murder during his trial back in June, but still faced up to 21 years in prison. The woman at the center of the dispute, Diana Perez, was also indicted as an accessory, but her charge was dropped earlier this year. Morin's family later sued the county and received a $7 million wrongful death settlement.
A pair of local business owners who've left their mark across the Coachella Valley are now confronting an unimaginable challenge. Our Caitlin Kelly has their emotional story.
You see their work all over the desert, but you may not know the people behind it. From Acrisure Arena to Agua Caliente casinos, the fingerprints of Mitch and Katie Wiseman are found across the Coachella Valley. High school sweethearts, the husband and wife team take pride in their company Image 360, which helps local businesses shine with signage, graphics, and displays.
I love taking small businesses and helping them elevate their business.
But while Mitch and Katie have spent years lifting up others, their own lives were turned upside down this summer. At just 34 years old, Katie was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, a disease with no cure. And as they confront this fight together, they're also raising their 3 young children, just 7, 4, and 1 years old.
With stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, there is no cure. Mitch has been with me the whole time, navigating, taking care of me, navigating, handling the business and managing the family as well, because now all that responsibility is kind of fallen onto him.
To help shoulder the expenses of the journey ahead, the family has launched a GoFundMe.
It's for simple things as gas, hotel stays. There's obviously a lot of co-pays we have to pay.
Despite her diagnosis, Katie's strength and faith have not wavered.
We're Christians and we believe in the Lord, and really knowing that God is seeing us through this process, no matter what. And no matter what happens, that I'm going to be okay.
And in the midst of her own battle, Katie has a message for others.
I just really want to encourage, especially all the women and the young women, just to go see your doctor and get yourself checked out before it's too late. Certain combinations of breast cancer, there's just not enough research for metastatic breast cancer. And I would like to encourage the community. If you want to give to our family, we would really appreciate it. But also if you want to give to research, that would be great too.
That was our Caitlin Kelly reporting. If you'd like to support Katie or her family during this difficult time, you can find that GoFundMe link on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Coming up next tonight, Crypto Fits has the latest in the crypto world and if interest rates are impacting it. We have details on this. That's to come.
Plus, flag football, Friday Night Lights, and a boxing event. All the sports in the desert with Tim O'Brien coming up in just a few minutes.
And here's a look at your gold and silver prices. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6 o'clock on this Tuesday evening. And we're back right after this.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
Welcome back. The man accused of attempting to assassinate President Donald Trump was found guilty today.
This coming after a little over a year since Ryan Wesley Routh tried to kill the president on one of his golf courses in Florida. Routh was sentenced to life in prison for his actions today after 2.5 hours of deliberation from the jury. He was also charged with assaulting a Secret Service agent and 3 federal gun charges. During the trial, Routh served as his own attorney, claiming there was no crime committed because he never fired a shot at Trump. However, these attempts came to a shortcoming, and the verdict was read, followed by an attempt by Routh to stab himself in the neck with a pen. Routh did not succeed in harming himself. NASA announced the 10 people selected from a pool of 8,000 applicants who will join the agency's astronaut corps. This is another step in NASA's race to return to the moon. Ivan Rodriguez tonight with the very latest.
NASA is aiming to make another giant leap for mankind by sending a crewed mission to the moon and eventually to Mars.
Some of you may take humanity's first steps on the red planet of Mars. All of you will carry forward missions that today exist only in our dreams. But together, we're going to make these dreams a reality.
Artemis 2, a test mission that will fly around the moon, is planned to launch no later than April 2026, according to NASA, and is intended to help confirm the systems and hardware needed for deep space exploration by humans.
We are going back to the moon to establish a sustained presence. The crew there on the surface of the moon will be trying to figure out how to live off the land.
Even though the 4 astronauts for that mission have already been chosen, some of the crew members headed to Mars in the future could include any of NASA's 10 newest astronauts introduced on Monday. Among the candidates are former military, a geologist, and mechanical, aerospace, and biomedical engineers.
With upcoming exploration missions, we are pushing the boundaries of human performance. And the lessons that we learn are going to help us to excel not just in space, but in areas of human health here on Earth.
During their 2-year training, the astronauts will learn about NASA's history and vision for the future, and will take classes in geology and in water survival and space health. Upon completion, the new class will join the 48 other members of the space agency's astronaut corps and become eligible for flight assignments. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
What's the latest in the cryptocurrency world, and are interest rates impacting the industry? Here's Crypto Fits.
It's been another whirlwind of activity. Bitcoin has been playing a bit of a cat and mouse game, holding steady and showing some real strength. Earlier in the month, we saw it holding key support levels, which was a welcome sight for traders. More recently, the big news that has everyone buzzing is the Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates. While some say this was already priced in, we've seen a positive reaction in the market, with Bitcoin pushing upwards and showing resilience. But it's not all about Bitcoin. Keep an eye on the altcoins, as we're seeing some interesting capital rotation. Ethereum continues to show stable performance, and there's a growing sense of cautious optimism across the board. Perhaps the most significant development is the continued chatter out of Washington. The SEC and CFTC have been signaling a clearer path for spot crypto trading. Now, this collaboration is a major step towards regulatory clarity, something the industry has been eagerly anticipating. In a nutshell, we're seeing steady market performance, positive reactions to economic news, and promising signs on the regulatory front. It's a fantastic time to be paying attention to the crypto space. We are, of course, eagerly looking forward to the Clarity Act being front and center in the Senate. Patience, patience, patience. That's our update for tonight. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning. Check out our Bitcoin and crypto glossary terms on the NBCPalmSprings.com website. We archive all of our video segments there. I'm Jimmy Fitz for NBC Palm Springs.
We are giving you a live look tonight from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Details on our 7-day forecast. Jerry Steffen's going to join us with that. That's right after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley.
Welcome back. As the sun begins to set on this Tuesday evening, here's a live look from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera. We've got meteorologist Jerry Steffen in tonight for a look at your 7-day forecast.
Yesterday, we had a high of 97 degrees, slightly below that 100-degree normal in Palm Springs. And earlier today, yeah, above normal numbers. Tonight, slightly above normal overnight lows, upper 70s, lower 80s, under clear skies for the Coachella Valley, 70 at Joshua Tree, 73 at Cabazon. Now, tomorrow, we have a disturbance that'll be to the north and west of us. It'll bring some moisture, but not for the Coachella Valley. It all stays to the north and west of us. High pressure, keeping those numbers above normal for tomorrow afternoon. And again, the ensemble forecast keeps us rain-free. Most of the action north of Los Angeles tomorrow. 103 Wednesday afternoon, putting us above normal there. Palm Desert, 106, 105 at Indio. Those numbers above normal Wednesday. That'll be one of the warmest days, at least in our near future. 100 degrees on Thursday under drier air and mostly clear skies for Palm Springs, 103 at Indio. Now, things change as we approach the weekend. Friday into Saturday, clouds will begin to build over the area. Temperatures come down. I mean, upper 80s, lower 90s. That's about 10 degrees below normal. And cutoff low will bring up some moisture over Southern California, so a little bit of humidity at the surface as well. As far as coverage with that system moving through late Friday into Saturday, you can see some light rain around us. And as far as the Coachella Valley, nothing expected. Maybe a couple sprinkles on Saturday. Most of the action over the north and west of us, but really not much accumulation, up to 1/10 of an inch in the mountains. But it'll be noticeably cooler. 91 degrees the high under partly cloudy skies in Palm Springs. Indio, only 89 degrees when we should be closer to 100. 73 at Idlewild, 77 at Beaumont, 79 Yucca Valley on Saturday. Surface moisture does climb a little bit tomorrow. A touch of humidity Wednesday under mostly clear skies. That dries out briefly on Thursday before the numbers climb back up as we approach the weekend. And as far as winds, yeah, they pick up Wednesday, more so on Thursday. Westerly winds, a little gusty around the San Gorgonio Pass, Desert Hot Springs. Strong breezes in the Coachella Valley. Comfort Air 70 forecast, 103 tomorrow under mostly sunny skies. All sunshine Thursday, slightly drier air 100. And then we have a string of 90s moving into the valley. Friday, 96, 91 Saturday.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium.
NBC Palm Springs Sports with Tim O'Brien, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Oh, welcome back. Football in the Coachella Valley doesn't just happen on Friday nights. One of the best teams in the state happens to play on Monday and Wednesday as well. Now, the Shadow Hill Knights flag football team continues to win and put their team on the map. Last night at the Palm Desert, Knights took care of business, winning 38-0. Now, the record sitting at 18-4 with a 6-0 league record. They're the only team playing outside of their league as well. Lolly Fergoso there, you see the touchdown, leads the team with 32, 30 of them in the air. The Lady Knights are in Corona tonight to take on the Panthers. Let's take a look at some of the schedule for Friday. for tackle. La Quinta, the only DEL team playing in El Centro. They'll take on Central, Valley View at Coachella Valley, Indio at West Valley, San Gorgonio at Cathedral City. Indio beating San Gorgonio this past week for their first win of the season. Desert Hot Springs will travel to the high desert to take on Yucca Valley, and then Desert Mirage at 29 Palms. We'll, of course, have all the coverage right here Friday night on NBC Palm Springs. And local first responders lacing up their gloves for this year's Battle in the Desert, scheduled for October 11th at the Cathedral City Community Amphitheater. The card will feature 14 bouts with participants from law enforcement, military, and public safety agencies across the state. Now, participants include departments from Palm Springs, Cathedral City, Riverside County, Los Angeles County, Santa Monica, and Santa Ana. Now, there will be a press conference on Saturday for the Palm Springs Police Department. That'll be happening at 5 p.m. We'll have more, of course, right here on NBC Palm Springs. Then for everything Friday Night Lights all season long, and you can watch all the latest recaps, be sure to visit our site, NBCPalmSprings.com. That'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Production on the latest Spider-Man movie takes a pause, and Keanu Reeves plays a struggling guardian angel. Here's Rick Damigella.
Tom Holland takes a break from web slinging. A source tells CNN the actor suffered a mild concussion while shooting Spider-Man Brand New Day. Holland was not hospitalized, but he stepped away from production. The star is expected to resume work on his fourth Spider-Man film in a few days.
Can you keep a secret? I'm an angel. See the wings?
Keanu Reeves guides lost souls. This is a look at the upcoming comedy Good Fortune, which sees Reeves meddling with the lives of two Earthlings, played by Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari. Good Fortune comes to theaters on October 17th.
Why do you want to be a Marine, Cameron?
For freedom. Boot Camp gets new recruits. Boots is a new series capturing the intense world of the U.S. Marine Corps. See how the rookies fare when the coming-of-age comedy lands on Netflix on October 9th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
Well, before we go, a new Wingstop opened today in Palm Springs at Sunrise and Vistachino. The restaurant is known for their variety of sauces and fresh cooked wings to order, as you may know if you've stopped by. And they brought some in studio with us today. We have them here at the table. They brought a variety of their sauces as well. The flavors: garlic parmesan, hickory smoked barbecue, lemon pepper, and mango habanero. Now, we didn't tell Tim and Brett which one's the hot ones. I don't know if you guys have the spicy wings.
I can't do spice, so this is
good luck,
gonna be
Brett.
super scary.
Yeah, delicious though, very nice of them to stop by. They have a few out here in the Coachella Valley, so we always like to showcase when there are local owners involved with businesses. How they taste?
That's good.
Good?
Not
That's
spicy.
good.
Lemon pepper. I think that's the honey or habanero.
Yeah.
This one
that
here.
glazed, and then there's the garlic parm on the outside there. I'm a boneless guy though, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Only that's just chicken nuggets.
I want to eat with my hands.
There you go. I guess so.
Brett, how many do you think you can eat
Scarf
right now?
down
Yeah.
right now. Probably a good amount, so I'll probably still have a couple after.
All right.
All right.
Fred, did you get any?
I didn't get any.
All right.
None from Fred.
We'll get some for Fred.
Oh, that's such a lie.
All right, that's going to do it for us. I'm back here tonight for the news at 11. Please join us for that. Meantime, we're going to send things over to Fred Rogan this evening. He's got the latest with the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark.
The Rogan Report is presented by The Living Desert.
All right, so tonight in America can't agree on anything. California just banned cops, including federal immigration agents, from wearing masks on duty. No more ski masks, neck gaiters, or full-on tactical face guard get-ups, unless you're undercover. Welcome in on Tuesday. Governor Gavin Newsom signed the bill aiming to build public trust and push back against recent immigration raids. California's basically saying, hey, if you're going to arrest people, maybe don't look like you're robbing a bank. But the Department of Homeland Security isn't having that. On Monday, they posted online and said, we will not comply with Gavin Newsom's unconstitutional mask ban. They argue agents are being assaulted and doxxed, and the masks protect them and their families. Meantime, California Democrats say masked officers freak people out. They're not wrong. When ICE rolls up looking for background actors from Michael Mann's Heat, what do you expect? So now, we've got another federal versus state showdown. Our contributors on the program tonight, Stephanie Miner and Paul Scott. All right, Paul, what do you think of this?
Well, I think it's just another example of this administration using their power unfairly. I think that, having somebody come up and snatch you off the street, they should be able to identify you clearly as an officer. Plus, there's nowhere in our history where this example actually exists. I mean, I've seen FBI and DEA agents taking down major cartel leaders, and they're not masked. They're carrying them in, and they're not masked. So, this is not SEAL Team 6. They're just snatching people off the street who are hardworking, and there's no reason for them to be masked.
Stephanie, what do you think?
I agree. It's scary. I mean, imagine you're a mother with your child and suddenly these masked people come out. Why can't they show their face? I think that maybe if they would have rolled this out a little bit differently, we might have been able to understand it. But we suddenly had all of these people just bum rushing the street, fully masked, and it's just very disconcerting. And it just seems a little bit shady.
Exactly. And the only other people who are out there doing this there are a lot of people out there who are imposters, first of all. And second of all, you need to show your face. And if you're not showing your face and you're not abiding by the law, which in California, it's the law, then you shouldn't be enforcing the law.
Stephanie, do you trust the government to keep secrets for our safety?
I do in some instances. Obviously, we have to, but I don't think that equates to masked men roaming around on the streets. Obviously, we have to have some people working undercover. There are secrets we all don't need to know about, but this is not what this is.
Paul?
I think, it's interesting because I think Border Czar Tom Homan probably wishes that when he took the $50,000 bribe from undercover FBI agents, that they were unmasked and identified as FBI agents. I think that this is just an abuse of power, another abuse of power, and it's trying to intimidate people.
Okay, so Paul, how do you feel about state laws clashing with federal policies?
Well, I think it's interesting because, this administration thinks that it's perfectly fine for a state to decide whether a woman has a right to choose, but that's no longer a national issue. That people can, states can't say that we don't want our citizens being picked up off the street by unidentified masked men. There's no benefit for this. There's no real need for it. It's just intimidation.
Okay. Did you know California's thrown a Hail Mary to score for legal weed? It gave the industry a tax break. Governor Gavin Newsom rolled back the cannabis excise tax from 19 to 15%, hoping to stop the black market from absolutely smoking the legal one. Now, legal weed is supposed to rake in billions, but surprise. Overregulation, sky-high taxes. Welcome to California. And street dealers have made the black market way more competitive. Legal shops are barely surviving. Illegal dealers, like your Uncle Dave, is still selling edibles from his garage tax-free, of course. It's basically Amazon Prime, but for weed and with fewer ethics. The governor says the tax cut helps the legal market grow and gets consumers safer products. Moral of the story, legal weed is struggling. The government is trying to fix it. Stephanie, do you think tax cuts will really help the legal pot market?
I think that they will eventually. I don't think that they're going to have a big impact immediately because all of these things take time. I think it's a shame that the legal market only makes up 40% of sales and we still have 60% taken over by the black market. I just don't think that's a good thing at all.
Paul?
Yeah, I think the real key here is to be able to provide banking options for these legal vendors. That would really help them take off. Making sure that they're able to do banking is, I think, a much better break for them than even a tax break.
How do you feel about the black market versus the legal sales, Paul?
Well, I think, I want it fully packaged. I want it like measured. I want it, if I wanted it, I would want it as it is presented in these dispensaries. I mean, you go in and it's like going into an Apple store. Everything is perfectly packaged, measured and tested. I wouldn't feel comfortable buying something out of some guy's trunk in the parking lot of some, Walmart or something like that. Those days, I think, are hopefully over. And the 60% of the people that supposedly are buying off of the black market right now, I think that a lot of them are actually buying internally within, like a small group or collective or something like that. I don't think it's sort of like Scarface or anything like that.
Stephanie, what other changes have you considered any? Do you think California should consider for the cannabis industry?
I think that they should just make licensing and regulation just easier. I think that it's a good idea that we're not, like Paul said, in some sketchy parking lot buying out of someone's trunk, but it's hard and people are moving away from it and businesses are struggling because of all of the regulation and red tape.
Any other adjustments you might make, Paul?
I think, we've gotten really, really far, really, really fast with this issue, and it's just going to be organic. It's going to play out. But I think, again, giving people access to banking, giving businesses access to banking is key. There's no other business that could thrive without a banking relationship.
All right. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be a good neighbor? So Molly in Palm Desert, she's got a problem. Anybody know the best way to find a cricket in the house? It's been almost 2 months. She's losing her mind. She hasn't slept in weeks. It echoes the entire house. Kelly in Palm Springs needs your help, saying hello, looking for general contractors for bids on repair and remodel due to a condo leak. Peggy in Sun City needs a recommendation. What Mexican restaurant makes the best chili rellenos? And Nancy in Rancho Mirage says, are you alone on this Jewish New Year? I'm happy to reach out to anyone who is of Jewish faith who feels isolated and lonely during this festive holiday.
We love it when you contribute, but please make it a note, not a novel.
Oh, and no, I can't pay your water bill. Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Show me the money. Have you heard about this? We're looking at a surprising financial trend. Friends, not couples, not families, but close friends are opening shared bank accounts. Yeah, it's becoming more common for people to manage money together, whether it's for trips, shared bills, or group savings. Some see it as a new way to build financial trust and strengthen friendships. Author Alicia Davies calls it financial intimacy, the idea that managing money together can actually deepen relationships. And in a world where financial decisions are usually made in isolation, that is a pretty big shift. But let's be honest, it's not without risk. Trust is key. If something goes wrong, it can strain even the strongest friendships. Trend is also in sharp contrast to the rise of buy now, pay later services. Shared accounts are about planning and accountability. What do you think? A smart way to grow, closer with friends, or asking for trouble? Stephanie, would you ever consider a shared bank account with friends?
No, I would not. I have some really, really good friends, but I would not do this because I just think the risks outweigh the rewards. And there's just really not a reason for it when we can Zelle each other. And, I just something I would never do.
Paul?
Exactly. I mean, we can Zelle, we can move money around so easily right now. You can pay a friend back before you've even gotten the check. There's no reason for this. And I mean, I don't want anyone having a shared bank account with me. So, even the best of friends. No offense to my friends, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No.
It's just not necessary.
It could be, quite honestly, one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. Honest to God. So, Paul, what are the potential risks of having a shared bank account with friends?
Oh, God, I don't know. First of all, I think, just how you spend your money, number one. I mean, there's the ultimate privacy is how you spend your money and judgment of what you spend your money on. And I just, no. Anyone who is doing this, I think probably is just really looking for a way to end a friendship.
Yes,
this is the guaranteed way to end a friendship. If you want to never speak to somebody again, open a savings account with them, maybe a Roth IRA.
Yeah. Any other ideas about what could go wrong here in your mind, Stephanie?
My gosh, and let's say your friend has bad credit or creditors and suddenly your account is just shut down. You have a problem with IRS, that money's gone. The IRS doesn't care what you have to say. I think that people that are in love with each other and married to each other, they fight over finances. So why would you get into bed with a friend and just open yourself up to this situation? It's just not something I would ever do.
Do you think this trend...
Even then, keep the bank account separate. Sharing a bed, don't share the bank account.
I gotta write that down, get a piece of paper and just jot that down.
I'm saying it here.
Oh, okay, yeah, and nobody watches, so it's okay. It's
nobody watches, but anyway.
Does this trend reflect a changing attitude toward money, Stephanie?
I think that it does a little bit. I think that, we've talked a lot on the show about loneliness and isolation, and maybe this is a way of people trying to reach out and connect, but I think that this is a way that's going to cause a lot of heartache in the end.
All right, and with this trend becoming more and more popular, we thought we'd get some legal expertise on the issue with our friend, Walter Clark. All right, Walter, here's the question tonight. What is this investment in friendship by opening a joint account? What does that mean? How does that work?
It's the concept that when friends contribute to one account, as a joint account, meaning they both have access to it, it can be a fun way to save and motivate saving toward a common goal, like a trip. So the theory is each friend may work really hard to get money in the account, and then they can take that trip when they get enough money in the account. It is said to be a novel way of strengthening a friendship. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but don't many friendships end over money?
Oh, my God. Forgive me, but the concepts of being novel and fun are just inconsistent with money management. It's that simple. Think about other examples of financial relationships. Start out with marriage, for instance, as you said. There is a relationship that is built on solemn vows. It's financial. It's supposed to be sacred, and yet 50% of the time it fails. And when it fails, what we see is one or the other run to the bank and clean out that bank account. The second example I would use with suggesting this is a bad idea. Look at business partnerships. Now, they're put together by lawyers. They have written agreements. They are signed, and there are all kinds of promises and protections. 70% of those fail. So we also see surveys that should suggest that 20% of Americans say they have lost a friendship over money. So this is silliness. I definitely wouldn't encourage it. Think about what happens if one of the other loses a job, their bank fees, and then perhaps they feel they need the money back, or they take more than their share of the money. In that situation, they consider it a loan to themselves because they both have access to the account. But it is a bad idea. I mean, there's the old saying that loaning money to a friend can ruin their memory. And that's true. This is just a dangerous arrangement. It doesn't need to be. If people have to take a trip with a friend, they can start their own account and save the money. But I certainly wouldn't encourage this. People should at least realize if they feel they can lose the money or the friend, fine, do it. But otherwise, it's much better to keep your money separate and to have your own professional review every year, probably, or review this kind of a question with a professional financial expert. Bad idea, in my opinion.
All right, so here's the bottom line. Walter, thank you for the advice, and I don't want to disappoint you, but given your own advice, I'm sorry, you and I are not sharing an account. I know you were considering that possibility, but Walter, given what you said, I can't do it.
I'm not hurt. It's not a good idea. I mean, think of all the things that can go wrong, and they just do. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, people have different feelings about money than they do about friendships, and that's what happens. Dangerous.
All right. Walter, thank you as always.
Delighted. Thank you, Fred. Take care.
We'll go back to the 1930s to learn more about gambling history in Palm Springs right after this.
Hey, riddle me this. What has an eye but cannot see?
1934, the year. Gambling first came to the Coachella Valley. Not exactly legal at the time, and it was brought here by a tribe that you may not be familiar with. Palm Springs historian Steve Summerall explains in this edition of Desert in a Minute.
These visitors from Detroit were called the Purple Gang, and they were a mob of predominantly Jewish gangsters known for hijacking and bootlegging. Al Wertheimer and his brother wanted to start a gambling operation in Palm Springs. They offered to open a plush nightclub, which would create jobs and fill local hotels. They promised to increase the revenue of this area, which was being financially starved due to the effects of the Great Depression. The Palm Springs city officials were adamantly opposed to gambling within the city limits, so Al Wertheimer purchased 20 acres of land in Cathedral City, which was at that time an unincorporated county, and built the Dunes Club, a plush nightclub and casino which would attract such notable figures as the Ritz brothers, Humphrey Bogart, and Ronald Reagan. Al Wertheimer would then open 2 more gambling operations in Cathedral City, the 139 Club and the Cove. Then, in 1941, California Governor Earl Warren pledged to clamp down on illegal gambling operations. The clubs were raided, the gambling equipment was seized, and Al Wertheimer was arrested. Recently, the structure that was the Cove, which later became Cathedral City's Elk Lodge, burned to the ground. This fire claimed the last remaining link to that period of history. For Desert in a Minute, this is NBC Palm Springs historian Steve Summerall.
Well, of course, it's a new school year, and it's filled with new challenges and adventures, and our community reporter, Leah, joins us to talk about her junior year at a charity that she hopes everybody gets involved with. Leah, it is great to have you back.
It's great to be back.
Okay, school is underway. How's it going so far?
Really busy, but it's been great and a lot of fun.
Okay, and it's early on, but you know, you're a year older now. You're a grade higher. Is it harder?
It's definitely more challenging, learning how to manage the time well, but it's been fun.
Okay, so what are we talking about tonight?
So today I want to talk about an event that you've probably heard about earlier because it's been brought up, but I think it deserves as much attention as it can get.
Okay.
And on October 11th, the Desert Cancer Foundation will be hosting their 19th annual Paint El Paseo Pink Walk in honor of October being National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay, now I want you to continue, but I remember that I went to that last year. It was really cool.
Yeah, I've never attended the event myself, but I've partnered with the Desert Cancer Foundation, and they do an amazing job.
I mean, there were a ton of people out there last year.
A lot of people attend. I think it's open to all ages, but I think especially for students and young adults, it's so important to be active in the community and volunteer whenever we can. I know many of us have been to El Paseo, just walking around, going to shops or restaurants, so it's really empowering to know that going to this event and doing those same things can save many lives.
Okay. Why is it important for you to volunteer? Why is it important for you, a high school student, to be involved in the community?
I think it's so important because I've been so blessed in my life to be given so many opportunities, and I think the best way to use those opportunities is to help other people and help people who cannot really help themselves and provide for themselves, but to use my knowledge and the resources I've been given to better their own lives.
Okay. So last year, I know there were people out there with their dogs. I think you can bring your dogs, too.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. We brought ours in stroller. We have a stroller, and we push our dogs around. We do. They're like little babies, and we push them around in the strollers. We're walking up and down with the stroller last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so it's October 11th, right?
October 11th, yes.
Okay. So what's the first big test you have coming up at school?
We've already had AP US history tests. Next week we have another one, which is our unit test.
Okay. You know state capitals?
Some of them.
Vermont. Montpelier. There it is. I was state capitals champ.
Really?
Yeah. Like 200 years ago. When
that
I
was
in
our
school.
5th grade. It was COVID year, so we didn't take the test.
Oh, you know when I went to school? When people wrote dinosaurs. That's how long ago it was, right? We used to write, like, Tyrannosaurus Rex in school. We didn't have cars. We wrote dinosaurs. But we learned state capitals. All right. Leah, you're delightful. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. I can't believe you found that actual video. Your daily dose of cuteness when we come back.
Rogan Report was presented by the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens.
If this show puts you to sleep, sweet dreams. If you're awake, tell us what you think. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
What has an eye but cannot see? A potato.
So it's been a while since we have seen anything from Photographers Got Black, and we need to fix that. So from our See It, Shoot It, Send It department. Want to start out with a couple of sunsets? Look at those amazing colors, amazing oranges. Sunsets in the desert are really spectacular. Okay, how about a couple of landscapes? Beautiful clouds here over our amazing mountains, and here a sight we're all familiar with. You caught up? A dust up. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm a little ahead. So there are the beautiful clouds over the mountains, and now we're going to show you the dust up. And then we're going to end with some wildlife. And that looks like a majestic profile of a roadrunner. And finally, a family portrait of Godzilla as a child, a face only a mother could love. If you see it, shoot it, and send it like Scott. I got to get to work because, you know, we go 24/7. NBC Palm Springs never sleeps. Go to the website, click on the show page, click on the Rogan Report. Content from tonight will be up there, and content from past shows as well. Wheel of Fortune is next.